Good morning. I'm Natalie Palmieri, the chapter president of Sigma Tau Delta here at the College of New Jersey. Welcome to the 24th annual induction of new members into the Alpha Epsilon Alpha chapter of Sigma Tau Delta, the International English Honor Society. Welcome to all parents, friends, faculty, and inductees to what is also our first virtual induction. Without your support, our organization would not enjoy its successes. Please allow me to introduce Dean Jane Wong, Dean of the School of Humanity and Social Sciences at the College of New Jersey. Dean Wong has come to honor our inductees today and to welcome their families and friends. I would also like to introduce TCNJ's president, Dr. Catherine Foster. Dr. Foster has also come to honor our inductees today and to welcome their families and friends.
Hello, TCNJ inductees to Sigma Tau Delta, and a special welcome to the family members and friends who are joining us for this special occasion. It is my pleasure as the Dean of the School of Humanities and Social Sciences at TCNJ to congratulate each and every one of you for the invitation to join Sigma Tau Delta and your acceptance of this invitation. Sigma Tau Delta, as you know, is the second largest disciplinary honor society in the nation, and you should be proud of your achievements that have led to this honor. I hope that as people dedicated to the written and spoken word, you will remember that the pen is mightier than the sword, and that you will use your voice to help us achieve a better world, a world where we can take pride in celebrating our diversity and our inclusion of all. So on this momentous day, congratulations, and I look forward to your contributions in the years ahead.
Good morning, President Foster here. Now I have come once again to the place in my house that has the most sophisticated book collection to celebrate and to congratulate the members and the inductees into Sigma Tau Delta, the International English Honor Society. Now this is an environment in which I also make a true confession, which I also made last year, and that is that I never took a course in English in college. Now that means no fiction, no nonfiction, no business writing, no composition, no poetry, no literary analysis, no Shakespeare, no Austen, no Angelou, no nothing. And this is, of course, an embarrassment and a great regret. I've tried to make up for it in my post-college days with a lot of reading. I love to read, I love to write, I love editing, I love the written expression, but it is my story, and it is an unfortunate one. Now for you, fortunately, it is not your story. You have taken English and you have excelled in it. You have surrounded yourself with talented colleagues who have done the same. You have taken advantage of opportunities for scholarships and presenting your work and going to conferences. And you have really breathed life and brought great inspiration by your achievement in your chosen field. So congratulations on that as well. So thank you. Thank you for being energy for us. Thank you for helping us be a place where English matters and a chance to demonstrate that. Thank you for showing that the College of New Jersey is a place where English lovers abound. Congratulations to all of you on your induction into Sigma Tau Delta. It is such an accomplishment, such an achievement. You have reason to be proud, as I am proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dean Wong and Dr. Foster. Please join me in welcoming our chapter sponsors and advisors, Dr. Felicia Jean Steele and Professor Diane Steinberg of the Department of English at the College of New Jersey.
Please let me take a moment to thank all of the parents and other family members and friends who are listening today. We appreciate your sharing your time with us as we congratulate these students on their many accomplishments. I'd like to introduce all of the officers of our chapter of Sigma Tau Delta here at the College of New Jersey, and Dr. Steele will talk to you about our chapter members. Senior Natalie Palmieri, our chapter president, has already introduced herself. Junior Jess Abalafia is one of our co-vice presidents. MA student Abby Bucci is the other one of our co-vice presidents, and is our graduate outreach coordinator. Junior Brianna DiGeronimo is our chapter secretary. Sophomore Angie Tamayo is our chapter treasurer. Junior Samantha Segreto is our chapter publicist and historian. Thank you to all these officers for your service to the chapter, to the department, and to the college. Dr. Steele?
Thank you so much for logging in today to watch this first, and I genuinely hope last, virtual induction for our students. Over the past year, as we have all withdrawn to our corners of the world to stay healthy, we've held on to the connections that literature, writing, art, and language have offered us. In watching and listening today, you're helping us to celebrate our students who have been selected for membership in Sigma Tau Delta. This honor is even more profound this year because of the adversity our students have faced as they manage to persist and achieve. Some are English majors in liberal arts or secondary education. Some are dual majors in English and the School of Education. Some are journalism and professional writing majors, or self-designed majors in fields akin to English. Many are pursuing minors in English, creative or professional writing, journalism, linguistics, or classical studies. Some merely love literature and have taken the requisite 4 college classes in English. They all love literature and language, and we honor all of them today. We like to use the annual induction ceremony to review all of our chapter's accomplishments since the previous induction ceremony, and to encourage our new inductees to follow the TCNJ tradition of excellence. Since our last induction ceremony in October 2019, the Alpha Epsilon Alpha chapter here at TCNJ has been honored in many ways. Please congratulate the members for these accomplishments. In academic year 2019-2020, 25 students from this chapter had scholarly essays or creative works or roundtables accepted for the National Sigma Tau Delta Convention to be held in March 2020 in Las Vegas, Nevada. The convention had to be canceled, but simply having one's work accepted is still an accomplishment. Many of those who would have presented are still students at TCNJ, some in our 5-year MA programs. We would like to recognize these current students: Jessica Abulafia, Julia Bechtel, Abby Bucci, Michael Gillen, Jada Grisson, Silas Jones, Alyssa Joyce, Abigail Hillman, Gigi Marchini, Thomas McDevitt, Tara Mild, McKenna Sampson, Natalie Palmieri, Megan Scherer, Ben Sultan. We would also like to thank Academic Affairs, but more especially our own Dean in Humanities and Social Sciences, Dean Jane Wong, who was funding the airfare to Las Vegas and 4 days of lodging there.
In December 2019, 6 students from our chapter attended the undergraduate conference in Medieval and Early Modern Studies at Moravia College in Bethlehem, PA. Both Dr. Steele and I were able to join Rachel Boland, Stephanie Gunderman, Catherine McQueen, Emily Miller, and Jessica Retch at this conference. Rachel read Allusions to Christianity in Marie de France's Yonec. Stephanie read The Reputation of Women, Medieval Misogyny and the Other. Catherine read Subverting Expectations, Instances of Medieval Domestic Fabulism in Alfric's Saints' Lives. Emily read Sorcery's Terrible, Shakespeare's Double Standards of Race and Gender. Jessica read The Pain of a Woman's Purity. Allie McHugh's essay, Blurred Boundary, Divided Power, Gender and Vanity in the Rape of the Lock, was accepted, but she was not able to attend the conference. In fall term 2019, 4 students from our chapter were able to present scholarly essays at the Eastern Regional Sigma Tau Delta Conference held at Mount St. Mary's University in Emmitsburg, Maryland. Rachel Boland presented Violence and Fantasy in George Saunders and Nana Kwame Adjei-Brenyah. Allie McHugh presented Brain versus Mind, Professional and Moral Responsibility in Saturday. Emily Miller presented Simon Laux and the Orchestra of Auschwitz. Natalie Palmieri presented Postcolonial Trauma in the God of Small Things. Sigma Tau Delta will host a national virtual conference this March, and 4 of our chapter students are hosting a virtual roundtable on physical transformation in children's media. Any other students can join in their webinar on Saturday, March 27th. The presenters are Gabrielle Sun, Zoe Talbot, Angie Tamayo, and Jared Woods. We urge students being inducted to take advantage of the myriad opportunities of national membership. The National Office of Sigma Tau Delta uses income from national dues and from its investments to fund scholarships, awards, internships, and research opportunities to its student members.
Many Sigma Tau Delta chapter members have published creative works in Lion's Eye, our campus literary magazine, and we want to honor their work. Philip Mazarius is the magazine's executive editor. Gianna Tiala edited the fall 2020 volume. Cameron Foster is the secretary and copy editor. Destiny Valero handles publicity and web design, and Carolyn Geegan is the Lion's Eye treasurer. All are also members of this chapter of Sigma Tau Delta. Sigma Tau Deltans will be able to present at the March 2022 conference scheduled in Atlanta, Georgia. We urge chapter members to think about papers they are writing in this academic year, as papers will be submitted in October of 2021 and accepted before the end of the fall term. The chapter and the college have already raised funds so that students can meet in person with about 1,000 other English majors to share their academic work and to meet and hear from the featured Common Reader author, who is expected to be Nick Stone, an Atlanta native and the author of Dear Martin. Alumni chapter members can also participate in the 2022 Atlanta event. In April, Sigma Tau Deltans will be able to apply for an array of scholarships and grants, including support for in-person and virtual internships in summer 2021. A popular option for TCNJ students has been the Study Abroad grant, which our students have used to help fund semesters abroad, global student teaching, and summer and winter term courses taught overseas. While we have all been partially sidelined by the COVID-19 pandemic, the chapter has continued virtual meetings and events. We have received 3 plaques this winter, honoring our 25th year as a chapter, Diane Steinberg's 20th year as a chapter advisor, and my 15th year as a chapter advisor. It was very tidy of us to organize our chapter so that we can celebrate all 3 events together. Once we return to in-person instruction at TCNJ, our chapter will host a department celebration at which cake, a very big cake, will hold a prominent role.
Today, we are honored by the presence of members, inductees, and guests. You will be joining us in Sigma Tau Delta, agreeing to our mission to distinguish undergraduate and graduate students, scholars in academia, and professional writers who are recognized for their accomplishments in linguistics or literary fields. Sigma Tau Delta promotes interest in literature and the English language on local campuses and their surrounding communities. Sigma Tau Delta fosters the discipline of English in all aspects, including creative and critical writing. Inductees' membership in Sigma Tau Delta outwardly recognizes your personal accomplishments. By qualifying for membership, you have proven to be of high caliber in the study of English, meeting the high academic standards of Sigma Tau Delta. Professor Lincoln Conkle founded the Alpha Epsilon Alpha chapter at the College of New Jersey in 1995. And since then, we've tried to work towards the same goal and embody the same ideals as the national organization. It is important to understand that our international model is central to organization. The Greek letters Sigma Tau Delta represent that model: sincerity, truth, and design. Our officers will speak on sincerity, truth, and design. I now invite our treasurer, Angie Tomeo, to speak on sincerity.
Leslie Mormon Silko speaks to sincerity with, I know the voices of the storytellers, and I know that if you tell their truth and don't try to be self-serving, they aren't dangerous. In fact, they bring great protective power. Great protective power. Sincerity begins in truth, and the history of Sigma Tau Delta begins in the sincere hearts of its members. Members are willing to put thought into action for one another, beginning here on this campus at the College of New Jersey. Because of your willingness to stand, to be recognized, and to join with others, Sigma Tau Delta thrives here today. Inductees, we recognize your commitment and your sincerity. Together we can strengthen the foundation of our society and look forward in unity and purpose. Sincerity in all things is vital to the creation of Sigma Tau Delta, and our commitment to sincerity is vital to the vision of Sigma Tau Delta. I now invite our Secretary, Brianna DiGeronimo, to speak about truth.
Jean Toomer speaks to truth with, there is greatness in the truth, a dignity to satisfy our wish, a solemn tone to make us still, a sorrow to fill our hearts, a beauty and a vision in the truth. As members of Sigma Tau Delta, you understand the importance of choosing truth over repose. We must always work towards truth. In your studies, you work hard to understand the truths of literary works and to communicate those truths to others. You have proven yourselves capable of explicating literature written in English, describing the subtleties of the English language, and composing your own text to communicate the truths you have found in literature and linguistics. Being a member of Sigma Tau Delta and of the English community as a whole requires that you continue these efforts and prepare yourselves to take the truths you have found here into the world, sharing with others your joy and appreciation of our discipline. As you prepare yourselves to discover truth, rest assured that the structures and traditions of the English language will aid you. The last element of our motto exemplifies our commitment to interweaving disparate elements into a coherent whole. I now invite our chapter publicist and historian, Samantha Segreto, to speak about design.
Toni Morrison wrote about design in the sense of creation with the quote, "If you find a book you really want to read, but it hasn't been written yet, then you must write it." As members of a society, we must set out to make and help construct our own designs. As members of Sigma Tau Delta, however, we all promise to support one another and focus our energies to the society's goals. We follow the design laid out before us, assured that our strength of intent and clarity of purpose will assist us in our aims. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Know that this group and these members will support your study of literature and language and will applaud your accomplishments and learning. Our president and vice presidents will lead the ceremony.
Sigma Tau Delta is honored to recognize our new members. You have fulfilled the obligations necessary to join Sigma Tau Delta, completing 4 college-level English classes, maintaining a high GPA within the English major, and ranking within the top 35th percentile of your graduating class. We would now like to formally induct you into the Alpha Epsilon Alpha chapter. Your name will be read by our Vice President, Jesse Balafia.
Marissa Alvarez, Paige Bramakian, Annie Bayruns, Madison Elizabeth Blackwell. Sydney Ray Blanchard, Chloe Victoria Blanton, Emily G. Brooks, Joy Caroline Carindang. Sarah Chachio, Samantha Kolditz, Leah Davidov, Eritrika Day. Ashley Dragowski, Camry Eaton, Sierra Fazinko, Cameron Jeffrey Foster. Jessica Fritchie, Gina Garcia, Madeline Garno, Caroline Giogagan. Rebecca Gervitz, Victoria Rose Jardina, Sarah Gonzalez, Suchir H. Govindarajan. Kayla Hill, Laura Howley, Kate Isabel Humphreys, Edwina Jo Kamara. Minji Kim, Brianna Rose Crivy, Julia Landy, Julia Lloyd. Evan Miguel Lopez, Gina Mancuso, Corinne Elizabeth Mills, Elizabeth Miner. Supriya Mishra, Amy Mitrosky, Nina Navazio, Miranda N. Palumbo. Shivani Patel, Gwyneth Peralta, Dominique Francesca Parada, Emily Prendergast. Caroline Ratansky, Heather R. Santiago, Dylan Sepulveda, Avina Sharma. Raihat Kaur Singh, Alexa Jacqueline Stoya, Kaylee Sturgis, Zoe Talbot. Angie Gabriella Tomeo Leon, Nicole Marie Tamburi, Joe Tennant, Lauren Trigali. Isaac Trent, Claire M. Tui, Gianna Tayala, Caitlin Victoria Vasquez. Taya Alexandra Vrecchio, Leanne Villarreal, Kelly Vincent, Lindsay Taylor Vreeland. Rebecca Webb, Emily Weber, Caitlin Wessner, Caitlin Joy Wilson. Jared Woods, Olivia Yaram, Delia Zumpano.
Inductees, we will now be reading the International Pledge found in your program. Sincerity, truth, and design embody the basis, the purpose, and the structure of Sigma Tau Delta. Without an understanding and an appreciation of these elements, our society would crumble. Inductees, if you accept the motto of our society, please say, I do. Please join us in the declaration of our International Pledge found in the back of your program. I shall advance all aspects of the discipline of English, foster a spirit of fellowship among those who study English literature, language, and writing, and serve society by promoting literacy and cultural awareness, ever keeping in mind our motto of sincerity, truth, and design. Congratulations, welcome to Sigma Tau Delta.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to give the keynote lecture for the TCNJ Sigma Tau Delta induction ceremony. I'm honored to be here. I'm Dr. Piper Kendricks Williams, and I'm an associate professor jointly appointed to the Departments of African American Study and English. I'm also the chair of African American Studies. When I was an undergraduate student at the historically Black Women's College Spelman, I was an English major and inducted into Sigma Tau Delta myself. I was asked to talk on the theme of truth, sincerity, and design. I have to be honest. At first, this seemed to be a very broad theme. When I was asked further to consider how this related to the current times and especially the Black Lives Matter movement, my mind lit up with ideas. Has this ever happened to you? You were all English majors or minors or have taken enough classes in English to be eligible for Sigma Tau Delta. So you must love literature. Have you ever read a book or an essay or a poem that fired up the ideas in your mind? And then in turn, you put down words on a page or maybe a Google Doc? I love books too. I have loved books since I was 3 years old and couldn't even read yet. I've loved words perhaps even longer. Tonight, I'm going to consider these particular words, truth, sincerity, and design, in the light of the idea of Black Lives Matter. Words can be used to denigrate, marginalize, and hurt. When they come, for instance, in the form of microaggressions, they cause paper cuts, metaphorically, that nonetheless cause pain. And of course, other words like stand by can do worse damage, inciting people to violence and pain that is not metaphoric. And yet, words can also be used to empower, affirm, and free. The word truth could mean many things, depending on who is saying it or who is hearing it. Truth seems a relatively simple word. Of course, is anything simple in these times? In its many iterations, Black Lives Matter movement advocates an end to the myriad oppressions and violences against Black people, and for the truth to be told about the more than 400 years that Black people have fought and died, seeking the promise of freedom. My favorite definition of truth comes from Frederick Douglass's narrative of the life. In this, his first autobiography, he tells the story of an enslaved person who one day encounters a white man on a horse. This enslaved person has no idea who this white man is. He's lived on this vast plantation and had never before this moment met his slave master. And so he did not know to whom he was speaking. This was just a small moment with just a few words exchanged between a white man and an enslaved Black man. The man on the horse inquired after the slave man's master, whether or not he was fed enough and how was the work. The enslaved man answered truthfully. He got enough to eat, and the work, sometimes was too much. He was put on the auction block the next day for finding what was called disfavor with his master. The lesson? If you're a Black person, think before you consider whether or not you can tell a person who identifies as white the truth. I wonder why, for more than 400 years, truth is so troublesome to find. But that is why I love literature. Historians can search for what they think are the facts of times past, truth with a capital T. Of course, history is written by the winners. We who love literature can find the multitudes of truth, truth of the small t, truth of the undeniable connection between all humans. Just this semester, my students in Cultures and Canons have discovered a balance of stories, to quote Chimamanda Adichie's TED Talk, The Danger of a Single Story. Now, of the three words, sincerity is the word that gave me pause the most. I think this is because I've been recently overwhelmed trying to judge if the people who identify as white are sincere when they proclaim Black Lives Matter, when they create a Black screen on Instagram in what they claim is solidarity, when they tell you they are anti-racist, or when they claim they want things to change. Sincerity is defined as the quality of being free from pretense, deceit, or hypocrisy. The whole of American history is based on pretense, deceit, and hypocrisy. There's an alarming lack of truth about slavery, white supremacy, and racial violence. These crimes and the hundreds of others require truth to be told about our past and the sincerity needed for this to lead to real change. Literature has the power to break through insincere attempts to diversify the curriculum. What if we studied for the foreseeable future only literature written by Black, Indigenous, or people of color as a start to a sincere corrective? This leads me to design. How can we design the study of literature by those of us who love literature, who love words and stories and books and poems? What if Black lives sincerely mattered and truth was real and not alternative? What if being anti-racist meant you had to center the stories of Black people, Indigenous people, and people of color? Among the many things I've learned teaching at TCNJ, teaching African American literature, African diasporan literature, and what's called multicultural literature, is that my students have never or rarely read the words of anyone besides white people. Let's get radical, Sigma Tau Delta. What do you think? Truth, sincerity, and design, employed intentionally and courageously to write the truth sincerely and design the teaching and learning of literature in a way that privileges those who have historically been silenced. Thank you so much for your time and congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. Please let me take this final opportunity to thank all family members and friends who have come to our induction. I would also like to thank the chapter's officers and advisors who worked to bring this ceremony together, especially Dr. Steele, who worked to create this virtual induction. Congratulations to all our inductees. Thank you for joining us during this virtual induction ceremonies. Inductees, you have fulfilled the obligations necessary to join Sigma Tau Delta, and you have expressed your commitment to sincerity, your devotion to truth, and your dedication to design. Thank you and congratulations.